Hey everyone, it's Bart Barker with Wilson County Schools with an update about tomorrow. Joining me is our Director of Schools, Mr. Jeff Luttrell, and a decision has been made. Wilson County Schools will once again be closed for Tuesday. Mr. Luttrell, let's just quickly get right into it. Same roads, and there's several roads in the Watertown area, the rural areas, have just not thawed out in a way that the district hoped would do today. What can you tell us about those conditions and the decision being made?
Well, we just, we always, I'm going to err on the side of caution. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, I'm the one that has to make the decision. And, our road department did get to some of those roads today and salted them. And then we checked roads today after starting about 1:30, 2 o'clock. We've driven most of them, and I can understand the confusion for a lot of people. You look outside, it's cold, but it's in your neighborhood, there's nothing.
Right.
And that's probably 90% of our county. So I do understand the frustration. I hate this decision that I'm having to make from a standpoint of, number one, we need to be in school educating kids. I understand that for parents that are working, finding child care, all that plays into it. And so when I headed out today with the team of several of us covering roads, I had every intention of going, even considered going late. But when I got on those roads and got to seeing things that I was seeing visually, getting pictures from other team members that were out driving, it's just not in the best interest to ask any driver or kids to be on those roads. And it's frustrated for me as well. I want to be in school, educating kids, and but at the end of the day, when we look at everything, and we are a unified school district,
right? And kind of highlight that. I think there's some confusion about that on what exactly that means.
We're a growing county, so as we've grown over the years, but we've got a lot more people living here, working here, traveling, but we are a unified school district. And, our teachers and staff work 15 minutes extra a day, and they build in inclement weather days, and that's provided by the State Department of Education. And so we have these days built in for this very, very purpose.
Right.
And when a lot of people think, well, maybe this part of the county could go and this other part could not, but also our bus routes, because we got drivers driving in both parts, it gets a little more confusing than just doing that. And, from a standpoint of this is one team, because we are a unified school district, and our teachers work that time. I don't know how you tell part of them you got to work today and part of them you don't. But at the end of the day, when I made my decision, it was when I was on those roads thinking, would I want my child on a school bus? Do I want to put that pressure on a school bus driver?
Right.
Came back, we looked at some plans of trying to go late and communicating to parents that we wouldn't run certain roads, but I've made the decision that based on the forecast of temperatures tonight, what we've seen today, that some of it is starting to melt. It's going to refreeze, and I've made the decision we're going to close school tomorrow.
Lastly, people say, well, why don't we start late? You use discretion. Folks, if you haven't ventured in rural Watertown in quite some time or ever, there's a lot of curves, there's a lot of hills. You can have a dry piece of roadway and then come around a corner and it is ice and snow covered. I know it seemed hard to believe based on a lot of your neighborhoods that you see outside, but Mr. Luttrell, you would back me up on that.
I would, and I was having a discussion today with one of our drivers that I knew ran the roads I was on, and we were talking about, and I was throwing out there, can we not run this road? Can we get to this point and try to turn around? And just when I got off the phone with that driver, I thought,
this is crazy.
I'm asking somebody to really be high stress level in the morning.
Right.
So there will be times where, if temperatures were rising throughout the night, which it usually happens in Middle Tennessee, we'd go to school tomorrow.
Right.
But when I look at the freezing temperatures and what we're faced with, and knowing that we have inclement weather days for this purpose, we're going to use another one in the morning.
Well, there you have a lot of insight there to clarify exactly why the closure is happening. I'll be sending out emails and phone calls shortly after many of you see this message, but we just want to get it out there as quick as we can that a decision has been made that schools will in fact be closed tomorrow, Tuesday, January 14th. Thank you so much, Mr. Luttrell, for the time and the insight on tomorrow's closure.
Thank you.